Hello, welcome back to the Prosperity with Purpose podcast with Jessica Heffley. We are on our money mindset series talking about extreme ownership. The ship was in there somewhere. Okay, money ownership is what we are talking about. If you just jumped in on the series, make sure you go back and listen to episode 1 and 2 in this series where we really talk about neutrality of money, and then we really talk about our thoughts and engaging with their story of why we are in the place we are right now with our money. And now I want to teach you about extreme ownership when it comes to money. Okay, I kind of stand on a pillarly foundation. I think there's some important three kind of leaders. Leaders steer a ship, leaders are problem solvers, and leaders take extreme ownership. Let me say those again. Leaders steer the ship. They can change the direction. They can change the trajectory for their team, for their business, for their own lives. They can steer the ship. Okay. You can steer the ship. You can steer the ship in a different direction for your own life, for your own team, for your business. Leaders also are problem solvers. Yes, that's right. They have the ability to solve problems. They have the ability to not wait until somebody else fixes it, or does this, or they take extreme ownership in the way by they are problem solvers, and leaders take extreme ownership. Okay, so now we're going to equate that with money. Okay, I've got three ways for money ownership. Okay, number 1, 2, and 3. Number 1, I am responsible and accountable for where I am right now with my money situation. We'll unpack that in just a second. Number 2, I am the creator of my relationship with money. And number 3, I create my financial future. Okay, all of these are I statements. I want you to know, because first of all, apart from me, you can do nothing. Let me preface this. Every part of these are in partnership with God. So I'm not saying go be your own God. You can create you can do whatever you want. How I teach foundationally and everything is apart from me, you can't do nothing. So all of these are in partnership with God. But I want to empower you that there are things that you can do to have a completely different future. So let's unpack number 1. Well, first of all, there are no money problems, just thought problems. Let me say it again. What if there are no money problems? There are just thought problems. So, sorry, biggie. Mo money does not equal mo problems. Okay. There are no money problems, just thought problems, meaning the way that you think about your situation. So number 1, I am responsible and accountable for where I am now. This will free you. This will take a huge weight off of your shoulders if you live this out. Taking responsibility, taking ownership, taking accountability for where you are right now. Where are you in your financial situation right now? Are you in a lot of debt and hiding it? Do you have no idea what you're doing and want to make sure nobody else knows about that? Do you have a lot of shame around past decisions that you have had around money? Are you blaming somebody else for your current situation? Did an accident happen and you lost a lot of money and you genuinely don't believe that it is your fault? Whatever it is, we have to come to a place that it's always, you have to start on a place of honesty. You have to stop not admitting or not coming to terms with what reality is, what your true money situation is right now. We can keep hustling because we're trying to figure out how to, we have to make the money, or we're going to have to get another job, or we have to do this, or the collectors are going to come out of us. Or and maybe I should say, let's come to grips with where you are. There's no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. This is not for you to spiral into shame and disappointment, or come in agreement that you are a mistake, or you are a problem, or you can't figure this out, or something is foundationally wrong with you. No, it's just a beautiful place of accepting what is incredibly important. So take a moment right now. What is your true and honest financial situation? What is it? Do you have a ton of credit card debt? Do you have no plan for saving or investing in the future? Um, what is, where are you right now? You can't hide it. You can't outrun it. You can't keep pretending that this is not your reality. This is your reality. It was always supposed to be this way because it is. Come to grips with what is. Uh, if you want to accelerate your view of money, your mindset of money, your results with money, your future with money, you have to come to grips in reality with what is. Take some time with that. Journal with that. Get that all out. You may not like where you are. You may love where you are, but you have to know where you are. You have to know your red dot. You have to know on the map of life, on this journey of where you're trying to get to, you have to know where you are starting. And there is such freedom, such beauty, such authority with just even acknowledging what is. So, number one, I am responsible and accountable for where I am now. Okay. All of this thing that I'm talking about today is meant to empower you to have a different future. Okay. So this is empowering. It actually is empowering to accept what is because it is reality. It is something that you cannot change the past. You cannot change what happened 5 minutes ago, but you have the ability to have a different future when you are honest with where you are now. That's a word for every area of your life, whether on your health journey, your weight loss journey, your marriage, your parenting, your like whatever. This is where you are today. We can work with that. We can't work with you pretending that it's not reality. We can't work with you living in la la land, not taking ownership, but we can work with today. We can move forward from that. So, number one, take responsibility and accountability for where you are now. No shame, no condemnation. It is so incredibly powerful to you to accept what is and have hope and belief that the future can be different. Okay. Number two, I am the creator of my relationship with money. Love that I keep using the word create. It's a word that I use so often because it helps you not take a passive role in your life. It helps you create things in your life, create things that are different, create a different future. It is such an empowering word to me. We need to say it more. You are the creator of your life. Again, that's not you playing God. In partnership with the Lord, you can create something. You were made to create. This is why people who don't have jobs are people who, oftentimes, this is what happened with my husband. My Plexus was amazing. It still is amazing. It provided way more than income than he was ever making outside of the home. And so he got to be home for a couple years, and that was great. And that was a beautiful season for us. And he was home when our children were little, but he was also made to create with his hands, his creativity, his gifts with other men. Like, he was made to create. So there's something really, really empowering. You were made to create. You were made to create in your business, what you sell, what team culture you're creating, what you are offering to the world, like how you are adding value. Like, those are all ways that you create. And it is incredibly empowering. So you are the creator of your relationship with money. In the past two episodes, we've really gotten more clarity and more curiosity about your story around money, because you are the creator of your relationship with money, and how you view money equals your results with money. You can change the results that you have with money when you change your relationship with money, how you think about it, how you've processed it, how you have made certain things, lowered down the emotion and came to a place of neutrality, and how you then want to powerfully decide how you're going to relate with money, what you are making money mean. And on a side note with that, is everybody gets to choose what they believe. So if you're growing in this area and you're changing what you believe money means, and you feel empowered and you have a purpose behind why you want to make more money and what you're going to do with it and how you're going to change the world and how you're going to affect culture, people get to choose what they believe. Other people may disagree with you. Other people may still judge you. That doesn't make it true. Their thoughts, their judgments, their views of you doesn't make it true. And also, their views of themselves doesn't necessarily make it true. So if they're still believing they're better than you because they make more money than you, or if they're still believing they're not as good as you because they're not making as much money as you, that doesn't make it true. There's a beautiful part of like surrendering that people get to choose whatever they want to make things mean, but so do you. You get to choose what you make things mean. And I'm going to choose an empowering thought. Wealthy people think differently. People that go to the next level in life think differently. You, as a high level leader, achiever, think differently than others. And so I'm constantly having to check in with my own thoughts to elevate my thoughts. Last week we did the money exercise where you had to double your income. Okay. How would someone who makes that income think? How would they show up? If your dream income was $1 million and it's doubled to 2 million, you may not be that person yet, but what is one step in the way that someone who makes even $10,000 more than you, how do they show up differently than you do now? What an empowering way to think about it. Not of like, oh my gosh, I'm so never going to be there. I'm not like her. No, like, oh, I'm clinging to hope. I'm clinging to my future. So how can I show up like that? Maybe I put makeup on 2 times this week instead of 1. Maybe I go on a walk. Maybe I do some exercise. Maybe I actually do the creation cycle that I learned about in Jessica's How to Get Off the Hot Mess Express course. Maybe I actually incorporate it like that because someone who's living from their identity and their purpose shows up differently. They think differently. They think empowering thoughts. This is an active step. If you look at all these ways in the Bible of our faith is active. The putting on the armor of God is active. They are forward movement. They are it is on the offense. This is not like a just sitting there, well, case of whatever happens, happens. No, in partnership with the Lord, we still can live on the off. Like it is forward. It is intentional, and there is a battlefield on our minds. And if we do not play on the offense, moving forward, then everything that just comes towards us will destroy us. This is an empowering way to live and an empowering way to think. So, number 2 was I am the creator of my relationship with money. That means I get to create something different. Number 3, I create my financial future. I create, in partnership with the Lord, we create our financial future. That means you play a part in it. That means it can be different than it was in the past. So years and years ago, I used to always hear this saying, and you've probably heard this before, that most millionaires, if they were to lose everything within 2 to 3 years, they would be a millionaire again. And I used to think, what? Like, I do not understand that at all because that sounds so impossible to become a millionaire. And if they were to lose it, oh my gosh, that would be so much work to do it all over again. No, it's not, because abundance isn't like this place you arrive to. Abundance is a place that you can tap into. It's something you tune into. It's a way of living, it's a way of being, it's a way of thinking, and it's different than the rest of the world. So it does come easier because they have done the mindset work, they have done the actionable steps, they have elevated their thoughts. They believe that they are a creator of their relationship with money. They believe that they are the creator of their financial future. They're not sitting around being passive waiting to win the lottery, and they do it again. And you can do it again. And I would do it again. And it doesn't have to be hard. Woo! So there are no money problems, just thought problems. Isn't that so interesting? So let's take this back to just a couple really tangible examples, okay? So, back to number 1, I am responsible and accountable for where I am now in my money, right? Correct? Okay. So, what are your current thoughts? And what are they playing out for you? I am bad with money. I am bad with money. When you think I am bad with money, what does that create for you in your life? When you think I am bad with money, that means you probably hide or ignore looking at your money, pretend like you don't have a problem, so you charge everything on a credit card. I don't know. How does it show up for you? When you say I am bad with money, what is empowering about that? What does that create for you? What are the actions that you take when you come in agreement and think the thought, I am bad with money? Okay. What if you flipped that to, I'm capable of learning more about money. My future with money is going to be different than my past. how does that change in your body? How does that change your actions? If your thought is, I'm capable of learning more about money, huh, feels a little bit lighter, doesn't it? It feels a little bit more empowering because you are capable to learn something new. You are capable to change your relationship with money. You are capable to change your financial future. Not about, I'm bad with money, just let you go eat a sandwich and keep being bad with money. Okay? Another really tangible example, I'll never get out of debt. I coach a lot of people that have a lot of shame around past decisions, and they're not coming to ownership with it. Not the number one, they're not coming to the very first step of accepting what is. And so because of that, they just keep running from it. They just keep, like, they don't like the feeling of shame, so they don't want to feel it. So they just keep doing other things, so they never have to feel it. They never have to acknowledge it. And it never changes. So what is instead of I'll never get out of debt, what's a different empowering thought, a different empowering view that you could have about it? How about, I believe that I can get out of debt. I believe my future can look different than my past. Um, I am better with money today than I was yesterday. Give yourself breadcrumbs. You don't have to go from I will never get out of debt to I will be debt free in next Saturday. But give yourself this bridge point. Take ownership of what your thoughts are. Take ownership of what they've been creating for you. Take ownership that if you don't have the results that you want with money, with your relationship with money, in your career, with your income level, take ownership and take inventory of what those thoughts even are that are creating where you are in the first place. Another really disempowering thought is, if only blank would do this, then I could have more money. If only my company would do this, if only my company would provide this, if only my team would do this, if only my husband, like, that is so disempowering, but you make perfect sense if that is your thought. If you keep waiting until somebody else does the specific thing that you think is going to be the money shot, that you think is going to be the key to unlock everything else, let me break it to you. I'll break it to you. If ain't nobody else going to break it to you, I'll be honest with you. You're going to be holding out forever. And that's not an active way for you to create. If we go back to the leadership is about steering the ship. Leaders are problem solvers, and leaders take extreme ownership. Nobody else is responsible for your success or your not success. You get, you are an active participant. You are the creator of your relationship with money. You are the creator of your financial future. And you're the creator. You're responsible and accountable for where you are now, because it doesn't have to be where you are in the future. A tangible thing that we're currently doing is, this year I hired someone from a biblical spiritual perspective who also is a CFO, Chief Financial Officer. So we're not admittedly, I mean, I could spiral in embarrassment and shame around this, or I could live with my own advice and take responsibility and ownership for where we are now. Is that we haven't been the most organized with money. It's not, I'm a nerd, I don't want to spend. My husband is a free spirit and he loves to spend. It's been an evolution within our marriage, money, right? Because it brings up lots of things and both of us. But where I came to reality is I can go another year without being really organized in this area and having more a purposeful plan in our financial area, or I could do something about it. So I did something about it, and I'm paying a pretty penny, but because I want to have a different future. So I'm going to stop taking a passive role and just being like, oh, the money comes in and the money comes out. I want to be an active participant. I want to acknowledge that I don't like where we are, right? I feel like it could be in a much better place. It could be a much purposeful place. I feel like we could be better stewards with our money. And since it's not a strong suit for me or my husband, I hired that. You get to hire areas where people are in their zone of genius that's not yours. And so I am excellent with mindset. I'm excellent with the growth aspect of it. I wasn't the best with some of the details. And so I hired somebody to look at it. I hired somebody to impart their wisdom, their knowledge, their viewpoint. I hired somebody to ask me questions, to help us have a game plan, to help us have the future that we want. So not just stop thinking about it or dreaming about it, but I did something about it. I became an active participant. I became a creator in my future. And that's at all levels. Every single level that you are at, you get to explore and figure out, okay, I don't have the results I want in this area. What can I do about it? How can I stop complaining about it or whining about it or wishing that it was different? And how can I be an active participant in having a different result? So, extreme ownership with your money. I hope that you find, I know that you have found this episode empowering on steps that you can take, on that you being an active participant in your future relationship with money and your future results with money. So go back, listen to episode 1, 2, listen to this again, and we're going to do one more to really kind of, I could talk about this forever and ever and ever. And honestly, like you want to know what my best resource I've ever had on money, on money from a biblical perspective, is the book How Heaven Invades Your Finances by James Baker. Get it, read it, read it again and again. I have never highlighted a book more in my entire life. I have never taken to heart. So it is a different way to view money, and if you allow it to, if you want to be a creator, active participant, it will allow for everything to change about you and your family financially. So, um, there you go. You have fun noticing your empowering or disempowering thoughts about money this week. Notice, be a noticer of your thoughts. Do not sit back. An active way to change your life is to notice what your thoughts are and notice what they are creating for you. So elevate your thoughts. Elevate your thoughts around money. Wealthy people think differently. People at the next level think differently. People who double their yearly income think differently, show up differently. You are a creator for your present and for your future.